You can believe that you can follow your conscience over church teaching. And stay with me here because I'm going to try to do a nuanced discussion in less than 90 seconds. Now, first, what do we mean by conscience? Now, the Catholic Church in Gaudium et Spes talks about how conscience is like the law of God written on our hearts. It's the voice of God. It's not just like any sort of whim that we have or our desires. It's something deeper than that because we get to discover the voice of God in our lives and understand how God uniquely speaks to us. But does this mean that we can override church teachings if we genuinely believe God is telling us otherwise? The recently declared doctor of the church, John Henry Newman, would say, kind of. He says in his book, The Development of Doctrine, that conscience is not infallible. It's true, but it still is ever to be obeyed. Obedience to conscience, even supposing conscience is ill-formed, tends to the improvement of our moral nature. And so yes, we know as Catholics that we are supposed to have a well-formed conscience. We also have to understand that there are people who have prayed and discerned who are ardently attempting to do God's will, who will still act contrary to the church. That person's conscience might be wrong, but if somebody is genuinely pursuing God's will, if they're genuinely trying to do the will of God in their life, that even following the voice of God imperfectly will over time lead us closer to the truth. But we shouldn't listen to that and be afraid of saying, oh my gosh, this just gives people justification to do whatever they want. The commandment of Jesus was that we should love the Lord our God with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and our neighbor as ourselves. And that is an incredibly challenging and demanding commandment. If that is our foundation and that the voice of God written on our hearts is our guide, then we can move forward without fear as a church, knowing that God uses all things to bring about good.